be a big market. They should be getting a lot from that.
It should be.
But why?
That's farmers, right?
Yeah, but why are they not?
Because it's confidence in the real estate market. Nobody's going to want to buy a farm or put money into a farm when even the boogeyman, even a shadow of some of these things exists. So our job is to kind of mitigate those things and then put that on the stage so then we add that layer of trust. So then people will open up their wallets, and then, foreign investors or national investors will be able to put money into those systems to get those, to get them over the hump.
Sure.
And the resources are there.
Well,
we just got to unlock the land.
Do you see that the local people will be able to keep control of their resources with this kind of situation?
Because, yes. And like I said, it takes a lot of different parts of this machinery to make those things happen. Now, Ghana is singular because, they are already set up infrastructure because they're looking towards that happening. This is just one of the hang-ups. If we can fix one hang-up, and then everybody else is ready to work together and be on the same page, I think we can go crazy.
That would be really great. What other areas around the world do you think could benefit from the solution? All the different countries in Ghana, or in Africa, and how about Asia?
Pretty much all of Africa. Yes. Well, let me paint a picture for you. Okay? Now, if we talk about rural land, like arable land, like farmland, okay, the continent of Africa holds 76 to 78% of all of the arable land on the face of the planet. Okay? That's a lot. Mm-hmm. Let's just call that 3/4 of all the farmland is in Africa. Okay? Now, here's the problem. 68% of that land is undocumented.
Well, isn't Africa, so before we get to this, isn't Africa a lot bigger than what the map shows?
Yes, it is.
Aren't maps made out of proportion, and Africa's actually really big?
I mean, you got to go there and experience things like that to see it.
Well,
the world is way bigger than the globe. Yeah.
Well, no, not just that, like in a metaphor, but actually the map. Mm-hmm. Africa is out of proportion on a map usually, and on a globe, and it's really bigger.
Honestly,
you don't know the answer to that? Okay. Yeah, listeners should look into that because I was watching a documentary about that, and Africa is actually a lot bigger than how it's represented on the maps. But anyway, it's not to scale, which is really weird.
Well, my thing is I've been to some of the countries in Africa, and it's all huge. My background, I did a lot of traveling. I've loved to go places, love to see the culture, love to eat the food, of course. But everything is so much bigger to me because I've seen it. Sure. I've grabbed the dirt. Well, I've smelled the smells and I've met the view.
Well, and let me restate this. A map would have things to scale, right? But not like a globe or something that's my understanding. Now, if I'm wrong, someone needs to correct me about this, but I found that is really fascinating. But anyway, so go back to you're talking about Africa.
Oh, yeah. So like I said, we almost have 3/4 of all the farmland in the world is in Africa, and 2/3 of that, you don't even know where it is because it's undocumented. You don't know who owns it. Therefore, that person, that thing, that entity is not doing as much as it could be for either themselves. So who ends
up owning it then if it's undocumented? What ends up happening? Because you're still going to have that same issue in the beginning.
Exactly, but we're actually going to go to these places and reach out, and that's part of Bitland that people don't see. It's our task not just to create a digital registry, but to reach those places and document that land before it's either A, taken from them, or if something else is truly going on. And once we get it documented, that's the beginning of, the cascade of what we could possibly be doing to the rest of the world.
Well, who's the default owner of land that nobody knows who owns?
The government or whoever that local chief is. It exists. But it's not being used. It's not being used to better the individual. It's not being used to really better, the local or, their national government. It's being used, to, line pockets of people that we don't know, we haven't seen.
Well, now, are other countries starting to communicate with you and saying, hey, we could really benefit from this?
Yes, and that's the cool part. That's the really cool part. When we started doing some conferences, we started getting a little bit of press. Countries like Nigeria has reached out through multiple echelons. We're talking, whether it's their government people or just people that are movers and shakers business-wise within these countries. So, there's a lot of Africa trying to talk to us right now. And there's, South America. There's a couple countries there, too, that are talking to us right now as well.
Now, do you see, do you see there being conflict with you coming in? Because some of these people are using it for their benefit, right, to control others and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you see some countries being a major issue, like, we probably shouldn't go into them yet?
Mm-hmm. Well, the way I see it is kind of like, there was, like, if we look at the United States, and the history of the United States, the history of any country, really, especially in the young history, we see that there can be corruption. There can be what we consider organized crime, extortion, strong arms, racketeering, people lining the pockets of politicians, to get their, objectives through. But as things evolve, what seems to always strike me is that all of these places, the United States included, once everybody figures out you can actually make more money working together and being legit, then those things kind of tend to fade into the background and
those
become
people
not
start
necessarily
coming.
Yes.
The majority of the people start going, and there's too much, not enough resistance. The bad apples just go away because they have too much resistance from everywhere.
Or they go legit because, honestly, they can make more money. It's easier to protect your money if you're not getting brought up on RICO charges and you're not going to jail. And I think that's one of the biggest parts. See, once the playing field is even and level, and, we can hopefully just mitigate some of the nasty and make the system a little bit more efficient and easier for people to get a hold of it, I think it'll be more than a good thing in, more than one area.
So
we're not just talking about land here.
Now, are you working with the local governments, the local chiefs and things to get this implemented, or are you doing it at the international or at the national level? More with
like I said, the reason why we have it broken down into those three echelons as an end user, the local, and whatever what they would consider as their national government is because that's our philosophy. You got to get the people first. Then you got to get the people who lead the people on a small scale first. Then you have to get the people who lead the people on a greater scale after that.
So you have support from Ghana at a national level, and then you went in and got support at the ground level.
Mm-hmm. Or vice versa, because our CEO, Narigamba Winsubo, he's a Ghanaian national, and he was working this angle for a while, and that was before I even came on board with Bitland.
Okay.
So he's a Ghanaian national in the Kumasi region, so he's been doing the running around. He's gone, with educators to 28 different communities, villages, communities, whatever, and talked about, the benefits and everything that could be cool about blockchain technology and what that could mean for their people. So that ball started rolling, over 2 years ago.
Well, that sounds really.
And now
what other solution? Bitcoin and blockchain, and now you're starting to do land, tracking land and who owns it. But what other solutions can you use with blockchain technology? Because it sounds like there's just a ton of different uses to really change and really make things safer and less open to corruption.
It's less open to corruption, but it's just giving, what we consider what we're doing with Bitland, we call it democratizing land. You can democratize anything with the blockchain because, number one, it's transparent. So everybody's going to see those transactions. Granted, they might not know who's behind that, behind that transaction or behind that wallet, as we call them, but you can see where it goes. So if you have a giant pot of money, you got $1 million, and it's stashed in there by this amount of wallets, and then it starts moving around, and then if you tell people that we're going to take some of our money, we're going to invest it in land here, and we're going to invest it in gold here, they're going to see that money going out to those places, and it becomes completely audible, like immediately. It's visible.
Sure.
So instead of having to go to, ask your partner, who could be, the poison pill, or a bank could be the poison pill at that point, or somebody in that machinery could, just be not dealing genuinely, they're caught out immediately. Because you'd see the transaction, like, what was this, $100,000 payment for? Right here, this one. And you can track it down in real time. You don't have to ask questions.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
And that's just the money issue. There's a lot of other places and things that could be. And like I said, it has to be responsible because you still want to have, ejection seats or, where you can hit the button and stop the presses immediately. You don't want to get rid of all human interaction, because there always should be that, that thing there instead of going all computerized or all automated. But there's so many things in our daily lives that could be used or could be made more efficient, by the blockchain. And if you can save money in any one of these areas and have people put that back into their businesses, you know what I'm saying? If we take a legacy system and we institute a blockchain solution for them and all of a sudden they save, $100,000 a year, then they could be doing more for themselves and more for their customers.
Yeah, exactly. They can save money. So how can people learn more about what you're doing? You've been winning the international awards, and you're really getting a lot of good press on this. How can people learn more about you? How can other governments learn more about this?
I mean, you can come right to our website, bitland.world, and check us out.
Okay.
We also
go ahead. You also have.
We're going into our, like this kind of weird conference schedule too.
We need to take a short station break, and we'll be back with Elliot Hedman in a moment.
Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Pat. The ancient Inca root vegetable maca is world-renowned for its wide array of health benefits. As a family-run company of true maca specialists, the maca team's mission is to provide you with fresh, organic, premium quality maca powders at a fair price. Amazing. All of the products are always organically grown, fair-traded, GMO-free, fresh, and potent. So don't take my word for it. Experience the life-changing benefits of maca today. Visit themacateam.com.
There are so many resources out there for meditation. But did you know that Atana's Heart Earth Healing Meditation is available for you for free? Yes, that's right. You can receive this free healing meditation today from Atana Vadili. All you need to do is visit his website, atanamethod.com. That's ATAANA method.com, and sign up. You will receive your free meditation instantly. That's atanamethod.com.
Are you ready for a game changer? Sarah Westall is bringing you Business Game Changers Radio. Sarah brings you leading experts, visionaries, and newsmakers who provide the best commentary on big issues and cutting-edge innovations. Sarah's 20 years as a business executive will help you think like an entrepreneur with expertise, energy, and attitude. Tune in to Business Game Changers Mondays at noon Pacific, 3 Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Hey everyone, this is Dr. Pat. I am so thrilled. I've had the honor of working with Leslie Fontaine for the past year or so, and what she has created in her hit program, Sheer Alchemy, transcends what most of us get to listen to or hear in any point in time in our lives. But beyond that, Leslie is working with people all over the world, and she has created something phenomenal based on the feedback and input from the archangels, from the ascended masters, from the light beings, and most importantly, from each and every one of you. So if you want to change your life, if you're ready to step into your own version of sheer alchemy, please give Leslie a call at 678-665-3366. And why? Because this is what you're going to be prepared to do. Be amazed, and on your part, connect with the ascended masters that are there to help you custom make the life that you are meant to live.
A word of caution: if you prefer the status quo and you are not interested in improving every aspect of your life, this book will trigger the shift out of you. The Truth is Funny, Shift Happens is available now. Author Colette Steffen brings the powerful knowledge and life-changing energy and empowerment from the radio airwaves to the pages of her new book. To get your copy in paperback or ebook, visit thetruthisfunny.com today.
And we are back to Business Game Changers. I'm Sarah Westall, and we're chatting with Elliot Hedman from Bitland about blockchain technology used to end corruption on land ownership in Africa. And let's rejoin that interview now.
I would like to tell everybody, and we were about to quit in January. I guess no lie. We were about to give up. We're done.
Why?
We weren't gaining traction how I thought we were. It was just a lot. We got 5 guys.
Startups a lot, yes.
Yeah, we got 5 guys, and we're trying to do this thing and possibly change the world. That's a lot to shovel onto, the shoulders of 5 people. Even our vast backgrounds and where we come from and how we operate, it was a lot, and we just weren't feeling it. We figured that, maybe it's time to go, back to the day jobs or whatever we did and maybe put it on the back burner for a while. And then an email came through. And then we found out that, we're supposed to be going to Paris, to pick up an award. And it was a Net Expo award. It was like arguably the most surreal thing that's happened to me and, to the Bitland team in a long time. Because it's not like we signed up to be identified. Like that organization had spotters and they saw what we were doing. Because 1, it was in Africa, 2, it was technology, and 3, it was about people, relatively.
Well, you can solve some major issues that people really need, and you can bring. It's a foundational element that can build up development in a country that really needs it.